Alrighty, now I am very excited to make this video. While I was making my benchmark video yesterday, I was wondering, I wonder what the next topic I'll be talking about will be. Then it hit me. Why not talk about the reason why I started this channel? That's right, gamers, we're going to be talking about the PC handheld situation. To keep things simple, we will only be talking about the Z1 Extreme chips. But don't worry, I will be giving the Steam Deck its roses for not only being the most affordable PC handheld, but for giving us, consumers, the best OS to exist. We love you, Steam Deck. Anyhow, the handheld that will be going head to head will be the ROG Ally X versus the Lenovo Legion Go. So first, let's start with the ROG Ally X and its biggest advantage, the 80 watt-hour battery. With it, this thing gets juice for days. It's crazy because it could last up to 9 hours before it dies. That's assuming all your player emulators at the lowest wattage. If maxed out, you'll get closer to 2.5 to 3 hours. It also comes with the 1TB NVMe, 24GB of DDR5 RAM, on top of a comfortable 7-inch 1080p IPS display. Now that's cool, but what about the not so cool? Well, it in fact doesn't come with Hall effect joysticks, meaning if your console starts drifting, you either have to replace it yourself or send it back to ASUS. Only for them to send it back to you because it was determined to be your mistake and now they won't fix it at all, while charging you a premium for it to get it shipped back to you. But seriously, how can you not include Hall effect sticks on a system that's almost $1,000? Speaking of $1,000, why did they send you a cardboard stand? I say they spared all expenses when making the decision to include one. At that point, just let consumers buy their own stand. At least standing will feel like a slap in the face. Now that's enough about the ROG Ally for now anyways. Let's talk about the Lenovo Legion Go. Now this thing is massive, and that's not surprising when it comes with an 8.8-inch display. Not only is the display large, but it's rocking a 2560 by 1600 resolution. Now that's a lot of pixels. And because of that, you know things are going to be looking crispy and sharp on this screen. It comes with two storage options, a respectable 512GB or 1TB NVMe. And you can't talk about the Lenovo Legion Go without bringing up their detachable Hall effect controllers. Did I mention it comes in at around $599 while I'm making this video? Alright, before I seem like a biased fanboy, let's talk about the cons. Believe me, they are nasty. The battery is easily the worst out of all Z1 Extreme systems with only 49 watt-hours. You better travel with a good power bank or be plugged into a wall. Personally, that's the biggest reason I wouldn't suggest the Lenovo Legion Go. Not much of a handheld if you can't take it with you on the go properly. Battery aside, the screen's resolution and size are also a con, believe it or not. We all know the Z1 Extreme is going to be playing games natively. So going with a bigger screen and bigger resolution when you're going to be playing AAA titles at 800p to 900p isn't going to look the greatest. Now's a good time to bring up the design of the systems. It's very pointy and uncomfortable to hold. I get lots of third-party accessories exist to help it in this department. I will say it shouldn't have to, so I will be docking points for this. If you ask me, this is where the Asus ROG Ally excels at. It's very ergonomic. Not only is it one of the best handhelds I've ever held, it's very smooth. That's the best way I could describe it. And for reasons already mentioned, the smaller screen wins here. And for that reason, if I had to pick a winner, I would go with the Lenovo Legion Go S. At least I would if it didn't cost $900. It's like, holy mother of God, the Z1 Extreme chip shouldn't cost this much. Sure, it has the most RAM out of any Z1 Extreme, but if I'm gonna be honest, I feel like the 32GB of RAM in a handheld is super unnecessary. I feel like we should have peaked with the ROG Ally X with its 24GB of RAM. Modern games aren't even using over 20GB of RAM, and just in case I get a comment about Windows being a RAM intensive, it's running SteamOS, making it even more pointless in having all that RAM. Now we move on to the battery. I'm actually not going to knock it. Sure, it's just 55 watt-hours, but it is rocking more efficient operating system, so it gives you more of an edge when it comes to saving battery. Did I mention you could also put the device to sleep, making this a true portable handheld experience? Final verdict for the Lenovo Legion Go S is, if you want it, wait for a sale. Better yet, get an open box set with your local Best Buy. I found it for just under $785. At that price point, I see it as a very compelling option. Back to the Asus versus Lenovo though. No, it's simple. If you don't care about battery life and see yourself being next to a portable charger or a wall outlet, hit the Legion Go. Just keep in mind what I said about the resolution of the screen size. Now, if you favor a battery life, I see it as a no-brainer to get the ROG Ally X. It only has the best battery in the market. Just keep in mind you will be getting a smaller screen. That's a plus to me personally, but to each their own. Just don't be surprised if you have to call customer support and they treat you like garbage. Oh, I forgot to say, all the handhelds mentioned can be connected to an eGPU if you want to have a true desktop experience. Now, one last point before I go. I'm not going to include the ROG Ally Z1 Extreme in this video because of the SD card fiasco. I can't in good faith recommend a product that I know is faulty. With that being said, that's going to do it for this video. If you liked the video, please subscribe and maybe check out my Xbox Game Pass rant. It won't disappoint you.